Hello and welcome to another Army Reenlistment live stream. I'm Master Sergeant Tim Donahue here tonight with Staff Sergeant Shantae Waterbury. Shantae, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I can't complain. Hey, so what's on deck for tonight? I heard it's pretty important that what we got going on. We got some special guests.
Yeah. So, lately we've been trying to shake things up with the show, and we figured why not bring on a SMAP MOS, one that not a lot of people know about. So tonight we are bringing on 12 Papas, which are the Prime Power production specialists.
What's a SMAP MOS? You said SMAP. I don't really know. Like, what's that?
So in a nutshell, it's one of those MOSs that is critically short, a little bit harder to fill. So they're the ones that I would say not quite an application, but it's a short MOS, and those are the ones that usually you can get training in pretty quick, and you can get promoted to either sergeant or staff sergeant, and possibly get a bonus. So it's one of those MOSs that we really need to fill, especially if you're having a hard time getting promoted in your current MOS.
Okay. So SMAP, you get promoted. You get the job and you get promoted. All right, so we got Prime Power coming on. That's 12 Papa. So we're going to bring in our special guest real quick. We have the Prime Power team from Fort Bragg, North Carolina is here right now with us. So let's go and let you guys start introducing yourself. First, Sergeant, you go ahead and introduce yourself first.
My name is Sergeant First Class Tony Persina. I've been with Prime Power almost 15 years now. Love what I do. Mission's always changing. I know I'm kind of getting a good shine up here, but that's because I do a lot of work, a lot of stuff. That's what I'm going to go with. That's the best I got.
That's why I wear a hat. That's why I wear a hat.
Yeah, I know, but I got to look professional. I'm inside. I'm in uniform. First on. I can't go home yet. I go. You notice my guys are in civilian clothes, so they're at their house. But,
okay.
But yeah, I mean, I just enjoy what I do, man. That's it.
Hey, this is Staff Sergeant G2 from Fort Bragg, North Carolina. In Prime Power, almost 6.5 years now going on. So far, loving it every day. Been overseas, support different units a couple of times, also in hurricane response. As I mentioned, loving it so far.
All right, as long as you love it, you can't tell nobody else nothing, right?
That's right.
All right, go ahead, Sergeant Mackey. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hey, I'm Sergeant Mackey. I've been in Prime Power about 2 years now. I work as a power station mechanic down here at Fort Bragg. As far as everything goes, like, if you're tired of not using your brain when you're doing stuff in the Army, this is definitely something you want to look at. And just amazing opportunities over here that you'll be able to, or hopefully we'll delve into whenever we get further into the interview.
All right. Hey, so we're going to kick it back to First Sergeant. First Sergeant, tell us a little bit more about Prime Power. What is Prime Power? Because I have no clue. I'm not that smart. I got a Boston education. It's not that great.
Oh, well, being from New York, I'm sorry, that you can't park the car, right? So we'll go from there. But Prime Power. So, Prime Power, basically what we do, we have a bunch of different mission sets. One we go out, it's called the National Response Framework for Direct Achievement Corps of Engineers, right here in the States, and any other U.S. territories for natural disasters. I know I was the NCOIC for Hurricane Maria as soon as it hit, Sergeant G2 and myself, Tropical Storm Barry, a couple of other ones, Irma. I'm in a different country doing that, so that was actually really cool. I mean, we have different areas that we go to. We have two companies, in Fort Belvoir, Virginia. We have a company here at Fort Bragg, and we have a company in Hawaii, which a lot of people like to go to. I don't know why. We also have some outlying places we go to. Fort Hood, and that's for air defense. And then we have 1 year tours to, trying to remember because they just moved to Saudi Arabia, Turkey, and Israel. And that'll be 1 year unaccompanied. You come back here. And then after that, once you start getting promoted, you get E6. You got other opportunities opening up. E7, you got Egypt, the White House, Korea. And those are all like specialty tours that you go by yourself and you're just out there doing it. and you are the SME, you're it. And it is fun to me because you're always learning new systems and everything. So
Okay. No, that's definitely good. Go ahead, Shantae.
All right. So, Saran Jitsu, what are some of the requirements to become a 12 Papa?
So becoming 12 Papa is first you has to have a BLC graduate at least, but there's some waiverable conditions at this time. Your GT scores has to be at least 110 in GT, and you have to pass that BMST course. It's kind of new. It's a basic math and science test that has to be taken any education center in Fort Bragg, you can take it, or any education center and any installation. It has to be in grade E4 promotable, E4, E5. E5 promotable is still, you can apply, but there's a requirements for that active duty application. That also high school graduate and at least has to have served at least 24 months in active duty before applying for it. So basically, BMST, it's a little bit harder, little bit difficult test, but as long as you pass that 110 GT score with 24 months in service, that's a basic requirement. Other than the police, basically all the board across 1, 1, 2, and 1. That's pretty much the basic requirements to apply for it.
Gotcha. So when you talk about the BMST course, is there a way to study for that? Because someone else has said that they wanted to do this job as well, but we were wondering, like, can you study for it, or is it just one of those tests you just got to go in and try your luck?
So it's almost 5 years, 6 years ago when I first tried it, and I looked all over the internet. I couldn't find any testing materials, but still, Saran Mackey could focus on. I mean, could put some notes into it because he's fairly new. But 6.5 years ago is not that much information available. There's a kind of a syllabus what you should study before you taking the test. As I said, it's a little bit difficult, but if you study, it should be doable. You should be able to pass it. Gotcha. Anything changed, Saran Mackey, after that?
All right, yeah. So when I took the when I was looking to take the BMST a couple years ago, everyone I talked to never heard of it. I actually talked to a few people at their Bragg Training Educational Center, and they had no idea what I was talking about. So I finally found the one lady at BTech that knew what I was talking about. Everything online was like, it just didn't exist. So as far as my studying went, I actually pulled out my high school transcripts and looked over what subjects I did in high school and started just taking every class I could find on math, science, and all that. I think when I passed my first time, I think I passed with like a 71 or a 72. I barely made it, and I was relieved because it was stressful. It really was.
How long was that test?
So the test is if I remember correctly, it's 100 questions, and you're given 3 hours.
3 hours.
To complete the test. Yes, and I think it was 2 hours and 54 minutes. I think is what I used to do 100 questions. And I mean, a lot of the stuff you have, it's a multiple choice test. So a lot of the stuff, you do the 4-finger method where you slap your hand on the table, and whichever finger hurts the most, that's when you go with. And the rest of it, you just eliminate whichever answers aren't correct. I mean, that's pretty much all I can give you on that one.
Okay, so Saran Mackey, you're the one that graduated. You're the most recent graduate out of the 3 on the screen. How long was the school, and how was the school?
So the school itself is 1 year long, and it's broken up into 3 phases. You have 4 months for your academics phase, 4 months for your operators phase, and 4 months for your additional skill identifier phase. As far as the academics phase goes, I believe I received 38 college credits for it, where we went over math, science, physics. I think we dug into like thermal something.
Fancy.
And, it's a lot of theory. I'll say that we actually have a project within academics where it's like, hey, take what you've learned and apply it and see how it did. So I actually ended up making a potato potato gun, if you're familiar with that. And I named it, was it pneumatic ballistics science? I think is what I named it to prove that I could actually apply everything I was learning. As far as the operators goes, it's where you really get into like the safety of a power plant, how to operate a power plant. You do a little bit of interior wiring, and you actually get into the power plant itself and learn how to operate. And you go through the analog phase, which is your older power plant. I believe we had a repurposed train engine called the EMD, which we turned into an actual generator. We slapped a magnet on the front. We're like, hey, this is a generator now. And then you move on to the solid state, which we have the Fairmonts. And then you moved on to the digital age, which is what we operate now. And I think that was my second favorite part, academics being my least favorite part. And then on the last phase, the additional skill identifier, you have 3 separate branches that you get placed into based on, essentially based on your grades throughout the course. With the highest average grade going to the instrumentation technicians, and they work a lot with relays, programming, logic ladders or something like that. And then below that, you have the electricians, which go really in depth into the NEC and everything along those lines. And then at the very bottom, which I always called it the smart, the smart, and the dumb smart. So I'm a dumb smart because I'm a mechanic, which is at the very bottom. And so during the mechanics phase, I think I tore apart, 7 or 8 different engines within my 4-month time. And we dive into everything. We dive into diesel theory. We dive into fluid systems, how to create and develop a fuel system. And as far as that goes, like, I enjoyed it. Like, I had a good time, and I'm not mad being a dumb smart of the prime power, you know.
I feel like I was dumb smart listening to you. So I got a question. So, your ASIs, you said that at graduation or towards the end of the course, you get assigned your ASI. Are you able to request like a secondary ASI later on? Like, can you re-enlist for an ASI, or are you just stuck with what you got?
So as far as that goes, in the schoolhouse, initially they'll give you like, hey, this is your ASI, this is your duty location. Originally, I was supposed to be an electrician, and I was like, well, I've done electricity, before I joined the military. I don't really want to do that again. I've never really learned much about engines, so I switched with someone who is a mechanic, but wanted to learn about electricity, so I switched with him. And then as far as later on, yes, you can, if I remember correctly, unless it's changed, you can re-enlist to go back for an ASI. And
nice.
There's also like a U4 course, which is the lineman's course. So you do overhead distribution. You can re-enlist for that too, if I remember correctly. I might be wrong, so don't take my word on it.
So for everybody that's listening in right now, and we kind of basically touched on re-enlistment. So 12 Papa is actually one of those great MOSs that you can re-enlist to. And if eligible, you can get a bonus. So definitely see your career counselor tomorrow, or hit them up after this show to find out if you can qualify. But yeah, what do you got, Tim?
Oh, no, and don't forget, they get promoted too. It's part of the SMAP, Special MOS Alignment Promotion Program. Google helped me out so much. It took me a long time to learn that. I still haven't learned it, right? But so gotcha. sorry, Mackie, you said that you were telling us before we came on. What was the attrition rate for your class? Because it seems like it's a really, really tough school.
So it is a fairly rough school. I think my class, we did really well. We came in with, I believe it was 28 students, and we finished with 22 or 23, if I remember correctly, which is honestly fairly decent for that school. I know the class that followed after us started with 23 or 24, and they finished with 9 students. So ooh. I think really what it came down to was that my class, as far as academic period, we had mandatory study hours. So class would end at 1600. And for the beginning, we'd have to work 3 hours every day after class and log it. And during that 3 hours, because the class is so fast paced, it'd be like, if I didn't understand something, I walk up to a fellow classmate and be like, hey, can you explain this subject to me more? And as long as they didn't give me like the direct answer to a question, they could like explain it in other ways. I'd eventually get the grasp on it. I believe that's why we did so well as a class. So the attrition rate, if you're not willing to work with people, like I know you'll probably come from being the smartest person in the room in another MOS. Well, this one, you're the smartest person in the room with the 20 other smartest people in the room. So you really have to work together on some of this. It's so fast paced.
Okay.
Cool. So, Sergeant, let me see, Sergeant Persina. So I know can you tell me, besides like, if you're not on a national emergency mission, what other kinds of missions or assignments can you go on?
Actually, there's one that's happening right now. They're leaving very shortly. A couple of guys I used to work with, they're heading out to Romania to work with Resolute Castle. And also, when we do our training, just to let everybody know, we don't sleep in the field. We go out there and we do our rotation, and then you come back after 2 hours. You go home, you can take a shower, you get your food. Mackey's shaking his head yes, because I just had him out there. So, but there's just so many other missions. We have a guy that's actually going down to train with USACE down in Mobile, Alabama for the NRF stuff, but at a higher level. I mean, there's just so many other things that you can do out there. I've gone up to Toby Hanna and other places, and I've done substation maintenance at these places, and you get TDY the whole time.
Ooh.
You know, you stay in hotels.
Nice.
You don't stay in barracks. So, oh yeah, some of the hotels are nice. I mean, I got stuck in Hawaii for 3 days. I'm sorry.
Darn.
You know.
Gotcha. So I was reading something, and it said,
my favorite.
Oh, I think we're losing him. Are we losing him? Okay. I saw something that says that there's even assignment opportunities in the White House for like your staff sergeants and up. Are they not a part of like the transportation agency or the communication agency? They're just like their own separate?
Basically, those positions in the White House are specialty positions. I know Sergeant G2 was looking into it also. He probably can speak a little bit better on that. I was offered the position and I said no because I can't stand traffic being from New York going to DC, so I wasn't doing it again. So I'm going to hand it over to G2 because he knows more about the White House position.
Yes, so I submitted my application back in 2018, 2019, around that time frame. We have one slot in the White House as a 12 Papa. There's a process that's a minimum requirement, being a prime power for at least 2.5 years, 2.5 to 3 years, then you can apply for it. But it's an interview, same as it's a 3-year-long assignment in the White House, and that's if you're interested to join. That's really part of the prime power slot, and good opportunity to get into it.
All right, so
here's an audience question. I'm currently in E5 and just got to Fort Bliss about 5 months ago. Wondering if I can get promotable status. It can be waived since I've seen they only take E5s.
So we actually had a situation pop up when I went through the schoolhouse, and basically they had to sign a deck statement for the time they were in the schoolhouse to continue going through the schoolhouse. As far as whether they picked up or not once they got out of the schoolhouse, I don't know for sure because they went to a separate duty station than I did, and I haven't really kept in touch with some of the guys from the schoolhouse, unfortunately.
So there's a chance.
I can answer that question.
Yes.
Yeah. I can answer that. So, like he said, you send a deck statement saying that you will not be promoted while you're in the schoolhouse. But we've had personnel show up to the duty station, and they already had ALC, and I think it was 1 or 2 months they made points, and they were promoted to E6. So you just have to hold off for that time that you're in the schoolhouse. Right afterwards, if you make points, you make points.
Definitely understand.
Because you don't hold back your career.
Yeah, because you're fully eligible for promotion. You have an ALC and being the part of the MOS. That makes sense. So I know you guys are talking about that it translates over to the civilian side. And I know Sergeant Mackey said he got 38 college credits. What are some of the credentials, the civilian credentials that you can receive as a 12 Papa?
So it's fresh out of this.
You got it, G2.
So the fresh out of the schoolhouse, so that is 38 college credit as soon as you graduate out of the schoolhouse. Also, you will graduate with the National Electrical Testing Association, NETA Level 1 technician. So just finishing 1-year course, you already have a nationally recognized certification as a Level 1 substation maintenance tech. Then you come to your unit, either can be Fort Bragg, Fort Belvoir, or in Schofield Barracks, Hawaii. There's only 3 locations that you can go, and we have done industry-led training almost every quarterly basis. So you can, we do substation maintenance 1, substation maintenance 2, that lead up to substation maintenance technicians. It's one of the very important certifications that you must have to do any kind of maintenance in any substation, regardless of you in the Army or in the civilian sector. So you can take that certification with you if you transfer over to civilian world, as well as I think it's a requirement 24 months after you've done come into your first unit. 24 months you can get take test to be a NETA Level 2 certification, which is also, as I said, transferable to the civilian sector. That's the credentialing of the basic. If you spend just 4 years as a prime power just for one contract, 2 credentialing right there.
Okay, so you come out the gate just sucking up all these credentials that can help you in the civilian sector.
Yes,
that's awesome. We had a question. I know it got answered in the chat, but somebody asked, how many ASIs are there for your MOS? Sorry, Mackie, I'll let you answer this one.
All right, so we got 3 ASIs for this MOS. My favorite, personally, being mechanical. Then we got electrical and instrumentation technician. As far as differentiating between them, mechanical, you're focused more on diesel theory, diesel engines, fuel systems, how to develop them. We do some welding, we do some heat bending, we do some heat extraction. Electrical, you focus more on a lot of the NEC code, how to rate transformers and stuff like that. Instrumentation technician, relays, programmable logic, some ladders. I don't know. I'm outside of mechanical. I'm really out of my element. I'll give you that. But yes, there's 3 ASIs for you.
So 3 ASIs. Okay, I got you. 3 ASIs. All right. So you guys have all been doing this job for quite a while now, right? So I'm gonna give you guys each an opportunity to talk about one of the cool missions that you went on. We're gonna start with Mackie, since you're the newest. We'll let you go first, because it can't be that cool because it's only been a few years.
Oh, it can't. Oh, okay. All right, I see you.
As cool as you want.
So, my first year in prime power, I deployed to Louisiana for Hurricane Laura. I did Hurricane Delta, and I've done the winter storm that hit Texas, which we didn't have as big a role in that, but we still got to go down there and do some missions for it, all TDY. So I, get some little extra money, spend some time in a hotel room, and most recently, as far as like missions go, First Sergeant, he used to be my power station supervisor, and he would offer us opportunities to step up and prove ourselves. So I was assistant NCOIC, and E6 was the NCOIC for actually taking time, going out of the wire, building a power plant, establishing that power plant, and running it for, I think it was 4 or 5 days, if I remember correctly, for 24 hours constantly, just running that power plant. So they really enable people to step above what they're expected to. Because for an NCOIC and a NCOIC, for a power plant, you're not looking at an E5 and an E6, really. So you really get opportunities to go out there and actually prove yourself and what you're worth. And Sergeant First Class Persina, or First Sergeant, really gave us the opportunity to step up and actually prove ourselves in that situation.
Okay. Sorry, G2, what's a memorable mission you went on, and what made it so memorable?
Oh, yeah. So there's 2 of them that I can think of in the last few years. Like, one is very recent. So the same night, Iran shot launches their first missile. I was actually deployed at that time. We were running a plant that actually part of a radar system that covering any kind of incoming projectile to coming out to the mainland. So that is one of the night I was working that night, actually operating plant on that night, and that was one of the great moments because our internet connection on the site was not that great at that time. We had no clue what's going on and stuff. But the following day, when First Sergeant came out, First Sergeant Persina was there with us. He came out to the site and explained the whole thing. Yeah, that was one of the night that our radar was on up and detecting any kind of. Actually, we saw our site being targeted a couple of times just on that night. So one of the cool mission, and the second one was during Hurricane Irma and Maria. Went to serve down in Florida and in Puerto Rico at that time, serving people that had no powers, nothing at that time. Everything washed away. We pull into a driveway that is, I didn't know that was a house it used to be. And someone came into us. Somebody came into us like, why'd you park on my property in my house? I was like, I'm sorry, I didn't know there's a house there. But we went there and installed a generator for them, give them power to have water supplies, anything and everything. They had no electricity, nothing. That was one of the very humble opportunity to serve that kind of situation when we need or people need help the most. So that was not too long ago, 2019, the first thing, and the Hurricane Irma and Maria 2017, 2016, around that ballpark.
That's definitely awesome that you could start from scratch, see it from scratch, nothing there, and then helping it get back to where it was at. That's really cool. First Sergeant, how about you?
Ooh, I got a Rolodex with him, so let me go.
We gonna call him an
OG. I can honestly say too, just kind of piggyback. I'll give you two. Puerto Rico, just trying to get down there. We actually flew, I think it was on a DC-10 to get down there. And when we got down there, everything in the entire country was pitch black. Just the guys that it was working for us at the time, they were amazing. They didn't care how many hours they had to work because they knew people were depending on them. I mean, we actually had the FAA director come down because one of the airports was going to go down. That meant half the island was going to go dark. I went down there with Sergeant Wilburn, who was actually ETS. And we actually assessed the entire airport, and we worked with the contractors and hooked up the generators, and they kept the plane coming in with material that they needed. And just to watch, I'm getting chills right now, just to watch when you actually throw a switch and doing like mini grids, and you hear like 4 blocks of people just cheer with excitement. You don't realize that flipping your light switch on a daily basis, having hot water, being able to wash your clothes, and you don't have that for 2 weeks. But then, you know, it's like he said, it's very humbling because you just appreciate what you have. The other one was the Marshall Islands. I went over there and I was kind of working on, it was a flight test operation, joint operation with the Navy, White Sands, some other places. And what was really cool is that during our downtime, because you're on an island that's a mile by a half a mile, and you're surrounded by a shark sanctuary, so you're not going anywhere. They would bring in some little MWR things, and one of them was scuba gear. So we kind of, learned how to scuba dive, and I was scuba diving through a sunken World War II Japanese battleship, which was really awesome to do. And then come to find out, after we were done, that the USS North Carolina actually sunk that ship in World War II. So when I came home, I had to go to the USS North Carolina and just walk on it, be
that's
like,
pretty
wow,
cool.
like just
full circle.
So yeah, it was pretty neat. So, but
hey, Shantae, I think
those are my two.
Those are great stories. Shantae, I think we got a question from the audience. You go ahead.
Oh, okay. So Sir Mackey is on it with the comments tonight, and he's already answered this one. But is a soldier able to do multiple ASIs while still at the Prime Power School prior to their follow-on assignment?
Not really. Unless you're electrical, you can go into a you have an additional skill identifier, which is called U4, which that's where you get into overhead distribution. I guess you probably know them as linemen, the guys out working on the power lines, when storms hit, putting the transformers up on the little poles. But as far as like so I came out mechanical. If I want to get additional ASI, the most likely way for me to get an additional ASI would be to go in, re-enlist, and have it in my contract where, hey, I go to the schoolhouse to go for electrician or instrumentation technician if I wanted to gain an additional ASI.
Gotcha. But you can always re-enlist for it. So there's that. So we got another question, and this is probably for if any of you guys want to answer it. Are there any leaders in your field that have done some outstanding things to put your MOS on the map, like your heroes? I know for me, in my MOS as a 79th era, I got a couple heroes. One of them is the founder of this great Army reenlistment that you're seeing today. However, he's living his best life right now, retired. So he's not joining us. But what about you guys? Do you have anybody that's kind of like done some significant things for your field or yourself?
I can give you one. His name is actually Sergeant Major Shetland. He's actually a 31st Engineer Sergeant Major out in Fort Leonard Wood right now. He was the one that he's one of my mentors. I still talk to him. He kind of molded me into what I am. So if my soldiers don't like me, just blame him. But I know he's been around. He was the RCENT Sergeant Major, and he kind of put Prime Power on the map for RCENT to like look more at Prime Power of what we could do, not just run power plants, but like do safety inspections, ground testing, things like that in Iraq, Kuwait, Syria, you know what I mean, wherever we're needed. So he, he actually put us on the map pretty well, and still talk to him this day. Still contact him when like people like G2 and Mackie get on my nerves. I need some advice what to do. So, but no, he actually is the one. He's one of my good mentors. I know these guys heard me say this about him already. So, but no, that's the guy.
Okay.
So you guys are a pretty small MOS, I'm guessing. So would you say like your organization's kind of like family, or what do you guys are a pretty tight knit group?
Yes, it's only 300 of us, 250 to 300 in EC2. All these three companies, including reserve, is 250 to 300 max in any given one. So we are very close group. Like Sergeant Persina, he likes to mess with myself a lot. Yes, my wife knows about him also. His wife also, any get together and stuff. So yes, we're pretty much in a very small group, and we are very family oriented. And every quarterly we have get together on our company area, and it's very close.
Awesome.
Yeah, one of the reasons we go orientated is with the positions that do come up, we end up like we've gotten 2-hour recalls and we're out the door. So we like to make sure that we give enough time for the guys. If there's nothing going on at work at like 1600, there's no need to keep them. Type of deal. Like let's just get them home to their families. Spend some good time with them, because there's going to be times where you get that phone call. Sergeant Mackie, Sergeant G2, a bunch of other people. You get that call, and just say, bye, babe. I'll give you a call when I get there. And then you give them a call when you come home, because you don't know when you're coming home. And that's just attributed to the strength of our families themselves, especially my wife, doing this for over 15 years. To take care of, be both mom and dad. So, but yeah.
Yeah. You must love this job, because you said you've been doing it for a while, right?
Yeah, I it's not even so much the job too. I just like how everything changes. Nothing is ever stagnant. You never get put on the same mission. Even when you do, like myself and Sergeant G2 went on supposed to be the same mission 2 times in a row. And the first time it went one way, the second time it went another way, and we just adjusted fire and we just enjoyed ourselves. Yeah. Doing it. It's never the same. There's always something different, always something to learn, always new skills to do, all new certifications to get, so you're more marketable when you get out, which I'm getting close to retirement. So I just want to hint that.
Can't wait. Can't wait. Can't wait. Nah, I got you guys. Hey, so we're gonna close it out. We're about to wrap it up, guys. We really appreciate y'all coming on. Amazing information. First Sergeant Sergeant G2, Sergeant Mackey, thank you so much. Thank you for being the subject matter experts and coming on. If you're out there listening, you're watching, if you want more information about 12 Papa, always go to armyreenlistment.com. We have information there, or you can message one of us or message the Facebook group. I'm gonna let you guys close it out with a shout out. Usually we do a shout out about something you want to shout out, but I'll let you guys go about telling us why is Prime Power the best MOS in the Army. Sorry, Mac, you get to start first since you got the most experience.
Oh, all right, I see it. All right, my professional opinion. I mean, most recently, I just got licensed as a substation technician. So, like, if you're looking for amazing opportunities on the outside, there you go. You get all the credentials you need, and it does not use TA or CA. So,
okay, that's good. So yeah, that saves you money in your pocket. Definitely saves you money in the pocket, so you don't have to use that stuff. Sergeant G2, why is Prime Power the best in your opinion?
Prime Power, it's I call it sometimes like we are not special forces, but we are special. You work with the smart people. You work with the people around you. They are really, we do the smart way possible. Sometimes not that's the Army way, but as long as that's the good job, gets the job done, I think that's all that matters in the right way. So you work with the smart people. It's this. I'm not gonna lie. The school is a little bit difficult, but if you like to deploy, if you like to see world, and if you like to have that satisfaction that you make real difference to the people's life when they need it most, this is the job for you. That's why I think the Prime Power is the best job in the Army.
That's awesome, Sergeant G2. Don't feel bad. They keep me around. All the smart people let me be around and to make them look smarter. So I know how you feel, man. I know exactly how you feel. All right, first, Sarah, why? Let's close out since you got the most experience for real. Why is Prime Power the best?
Going back to the traveling thing, I've actually worked on 5 different continents in 47 different countries, 49 out of 50 states in every U.S. territory since I've been in Prime Power, and I enjoyed every minute of it. It's just seeing all the different people that you actually do affect, whether they're service members, civilians abroad, civilians home. It makes you feel like you're doing something good that's not you. You know, it's not for you, for the benefit of you. And also what I love about it is that my family is always going to be taken care of, whether I'm home or whether I'm away. Like, that's how close-knit we are. And the best part about it, too, is when I come home, there's no formation and fanfare and heroes welcome. Like, you fly into the airport, your family picks you up, you go get something to eat, and you go home. You know, like, you're just like, good. You know what I mean? The mission's done. Let's go home.
Nah,
that's what I love. That's why.
No, that's awesome. We really appreciate.
And I'm a little upset at the two. I'm a little upset at the 2 guys that should have said I'm the reason it's the best. So I'm a little upset as well. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Knock in my office. Make sure you guys understand.
Water source.
No, thank y'all 3 for coming on. We really appreciate it. Great show. I really appreciate y'all. So we're gonna let y'all go real quick before we wrap it up. Myself and Shantae. So thank y'all once again. All right, Shantae. Great show. Great, very informative.
Sweet.
12 Papa. Yeah, they are very smart. Who do you want to shout out this week?
All right, so let's do 2. I want to shout out the newly promoted Sergeant Harper with 2nd SBAB. He's one of our full-time retention NCOs, going to the course real soon. He's been killing it over there for them, so congratulations on your promotion. And then I also want to shout out, and I'm sorry if y'all can hear some kids in the background because I have a almost 3-year-old tomorrow, and she loves to like be loud when she gets home. But I also want to shout out, we have some new team members on Army Reenlistment, and we're not going to announce them just yet. But I just want to say that this show was made possible by them this week, really pulling their weight and helping us out. And we have a lot of like great things on, in the works, and they are definitely a tremendous help. So shout out to the newest members of Army Reenlistment, those that shall not be named.
All right, so the name of the nameless, right? No, yes, the nameless for now. But you did segue into something great. We really have some really great shows coming forward. We're gonna start putting them out a lot earlier, but I'm really excited about next week's show. We'll probably have that
Detail.
information out to y'all next in the next couple of days. Big show next week. Big show in the next couple of months. Lots of shows, lots of important issues. Give us feedback. Tell us what you want to see. Shout out. I just want to shout out all of the career counselors in the Army taking care of soldiers right now. Yeah, they're doing pretty good. But I really want to shout out Staff Sergeant Kevin Bingham, Sergeant First Class Sean Kern. They're 1-2 in the Army in reenlistments. They make their boss look really good. So shout out to them. And thank y'all for seeing it with us again. And we'll see y'all next week. Peace out.
Good night.